Hi everybody, I'm Patti Cesarini and I'm sitting down with men's associate head coach Jeff Smith, aka Smitty. So Smitty, you guys play Purdue-Fort Wayne this Wednesday at their place. You play IUPUI at home on Saturday. But first I want to talk a little bit of Purdue-Fort Wayne.
Sure.
They got you here at home. You're going there to play them. How important is it to, even that out and avoid a sweep?
Well, I think avoiding the sweep really matters for two reasons. But obviously, you want to win as many games as you can,
Right?
Especially when you get into February, and we always talk now about clearing hurdles and stacking hurdles, and so this is one more hurdle for us, and it's a big road game because anytime you win games on the road, Fort Wayne doesn't lose many in their building, and so it gives you an advantage. But more importantly, it puts us in position to stay one game behind Green Bay for first place in the conference standings, and it gives us another team that we will at worst share a tiebreaker with. And so that's where the two wins against Youngstown and the two wins against Milwaukee, hopefully we can find a way to get a second win against Wright State, because now you get those tiebreakers. And so obviously you want to win as many games as you can. You want to be playing well in February, and we are, but winning games right now is important for seeding purposes down the road.
And, when you look back to the first time that you played them, that was literally the beginning of the season. So,
Yeah.
You guys have grown so much as a team. You've gotten better, and you can say the same for them. They've grown, they've changed as a team. So what are, some of the disadvantages or maybe advantages of playing a team that early and then now almost at the back half, the end of your season?
You don't see it very often in college basketball.
Yeah,
where
it's
you
kind
go
of a little strange.
Yeah, normally you would see a traditional rotation where the second time through the conference we would have played them in Detroit, and Detroit was the first game of the conference season, and ends up being the last game of the year. So it's unique in that, obviously, as you stated, we are a very different basketball team right now. When they came in here, we knew that they could shoot the ball, and we played them at the end of a very, very emotional week. If you think back, we beat Xavier on Monday night, and then we had to turn around and play at Detroit on Wednesday night. Won both of those games, very emotional games, and came in here, and to Fort Wayne's credit, they made everything. And I don't know that we maybe played with the pop and the focus that you'd like to have in conference games, but it was so long ago. Our approach this week has been, this is like playing them for the first time. And we reviewed personnel as if we had never played them, reviewed what they did against us as if we'd never played them, in hopes that our preparation has us locked in. But, this team right now believes in themselves. They are an unbelievable group of guys to be around. I've said that to people publicly since we started in July, and that has never wavered. They're great to be around every single day. They work, they care about one another, and they care about winning games. And at the end of the day, they all want to play as many minutes as they can and get as many shots as they can, but they're genuinely happy for one another, even when they maybe don't have the individual success that they want.
Yeah, and you guys have talked about, from a coaching staff perspective, you're like, it's so much fun to come in and work with these kids, Yeah. And I want to talk about a couple of them, Rocket Watts and what's the other one? Rocket and Blake are really close to hitting 1,000 career points, and if and when they do that, you guys would have 4 players on your roster with 1,000 points. You'd be tied for 6th in the NCAA for active members with 1,000 points. How, in terms of depth and experience of your squad, how special is something like that to have?
It's unique, and I'm sure now with the way the COVID year has happened and with the transfer portal being, it's not going to probably be unique much longer. But think about those two guys and the different paths that they've taken to get to 1,000 points, and then you add Jack Golke into that and the path that he has taken to get to 1,000 points. It's what has become college basketball in today's day and age. But couldn't be more happier for those two guys. Jack getting it a couple of weeks ago was a really cool thing, especially because he got to do it in front of all of his friends and family, and so that was really neat. And then for Rocket and Rocket, I can't say enough about him in terms of he's given so much of himself and put his ego aside. And this is a guy who came here with such large amounts of accolades, right? And all he's been about is the team and helping us win and being an absolutely great teammate in that locker room. And when he gets his opportunity on the floor, does the best that he can. And then Blake, 5 years that he's been with us now, and he is the heart and soul of our team.
He's worked his butt off.
Oh my gosh! The what he's done through the course of his career is truly amazing, and so couldn't be happier for those two guys.
And, that's a reason why people should come and watch these games, and you guys have said it a lot. People need to come out. We need to get this arena. We need to get it filled. We need people to come see it. What are people missing out on that they're not seeing when you come to a game that you can't see on TV, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And when you get into this building on game day, the game day staff, they do a phenomenal job. I think the experience for our fans is tremendous.
Yeah.
You know, you are right on top of the action, you know, so you're a part of it. You get to see the Grizz gang, and, you know, on special occasions, you get to see that swim team doing their thing up in the stands. And
they said they've got another idea.
I can't wait to see it. You know, I saw last night there was some other swim team that was getting a bunch of love, you know, on Twitter, but nothing like what our guys did. You know, they started it, and so it was pretty special. But I think, you know, coming here, you're right on top of the action. You get to watch very, very high-level college basketball for a very reasonable price, and you're sitting right on top of the court, and you get to see a special group of guys play. And you know, it's not very often we get to coach groups of guys like this, but it's also not very often fans get to be a part of a group of guys like this. So we need people to show up, fill this arena for us, and help us continue our march towards the championship.
Yeah, and that's Saturday, IUPUI, 3 o'clock. And last time you played them at third place, you guys had six of your players in double-digit figures. You know, what made you guys so successful from an offensive end that game, and how do you carry that back into this week and playing them again? It was
really when we started making a lot of shots, and you know, we knew we were capable of having nights where we've had, like, where Jack goes crazy, Blake goes crazy, DQ makes some, and then the other guys do what they've been doing all year. And we have a good size advantage against them, and so we're able to take advantage of that and get the ball to the paint, get the ball to the rim, and then once their defense started to collapse, the ball goes out and we had the chance to make threes. And so they present a unique challenge. They're very different than most teams that you play. They are guard oriented, but they don't shoot threes. The other night they were 1 for 8 from 3. You know, they've had nights where they're 1 for 4 from 3 as a team, and they're led by guys who are guards.
Yeah.
But what they do is they get that ball to the paint, they get to the rim, and they make mid-range jump shots, and then when they get to the free throw line, they make them. And so they test your defense in a very different way than what we've seen from some of the teams that we face. And so couldn't be much more opposite from Fort Wayne to IUPUI in terms of style of play, and that's what's unique about college basketball. And so it should be a fun week. It's an exciting week, and we need to do the best we can to clear 2 more hurdles.
Yeah, absolutely. On our way to championships and on our way to March too.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Smitty, and don't forget this Wednesday night against Purdue Fort Wayne, and then bringing it back on home for IUPUI on Saturday. Thanks,
Help us fill this building this weekend. We need you.